Hey everyone, we're back. We're going to talk about, Yarni says we're going to talk about attraction today. So he's going to ask me questions and we're going to see what comes through.
Yeah, attraction, because I was thinking about the topic and I closed my eyes and I clearly heard the word gender. And I'm like, gender. Okay, what am I supposed to do with gender?
Hmm.
And then I kind of thought about attraction. It
Hmm.
just came naturally after gender. Attraction came to me and I'm like, okay, yeah, why are we actually attracted
Hmm.
to certain things and aren't attracted to others? Roger.
I could bring up so many things. You gave me so much information right there, and I'm receiving information because at this time in our world, we're trying to come to a greater sense of understanding of all people, which is why gender came up for you because there's so many issues going on about what gender should we be? Why are there so many transgender? Why are people becoming coming around now, even though they've been existed forever as long as society? But why are we paying attention now? Because we're trying to understand that we all have worth and value. And so then when people come in to present differences, it gives us some pause because we don't want to
Mhm.
accept that. We don't want to look at that. And then we don't accept who we are because we're judging others. And this is why I said that this period is about coming to a greater understanding of how what all people are. So that's why an attraction. Okay, so you people use the law of attraction. The law of attraction, people say, oh,
I
if I
do.
just sit around and think about certain things, it'll bring something in. No, that's not how I see it. Attraction means that you're going to bring into your life, you're going to attract into your life whatever you need that's going to
Mhm.
cause you to evolve. Sometimes you will attract things that are uncomfortable because you have old stuff in there that you want to get rid of. So while you might judge the experience as being this horrible thing, but actually what it's doing is giving you the opportunity to move through some limitation that's existed in your life now, or what I call even other past lives, that we don't even have a memory of, but we're meant to release it now. And that is what we're doing collectively in the world.
Hmm. What has someone's frequency
Mm-hmm.
to do with what they attract?
Because it's about vibrations. The universe is all about vibration. Certain energies carry a particular vibration. This is why some people, you look at music online and you get the megahertz and all these different things. And over time, scientists have discovered how those megahertz will affect us on an emotional level and
Wow.
physically, basically. And so
Hmm.
we understand that on the
So do you
collective.
say that frequencies affect our physical, like our health,
Yes,
like physical health, mental health,
yes,
spiritual health,
yes,
emotional health?
yes, all of
So
it.
certain, what are those frequencies?
The lower vibrational frequencies, which I've operated from so many of them throughout my life. So I do understand them because they're things of depression, for instance. That's
Is
lower.
this what they say with 432 hertz, 528 hertz, or like those solfeggio frequencies? Do they know
Right. Now, I
them?
don't, yes, they're showing, I haven't studied it all. I just know that studies have been done, which is why
Hmm.
people put specific things, use a specific megahertz because they say this will affect your body or your energy or consciousness in a particular way. I haven't studied it, but I do find that certain ones that I
Hmm.
will listen to cause me to relax in a different way that
Yeah.
that I don't understand. And so
Mm.
I don't care. I just as long as it works.
Exactly. Yeah, I do like listening to some frequencies at some nights, or I've done it often as well. Especially in times where I kind of had to get myself into a positive state.
Hmm.
Now where I kind of have a better control about that, it became more natural. And I'm even listening to lots of music that has 432 hertz in it, even spiritual rap, like or hip hop. It's very cool to be honest, because it's constant
You should study that so
affirmations,
you should tell me
right?
about it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't studied. I mean, I just know on a very surface level about that. I
I,
haven't really
I
studied.
will send you some songs.
Oh, good.
Yeah, yeah. So attraction, right? And so we attract, is it like that we attract um the frequency that we need in order to grow.
Yes, yes. And again, I'm just going to say it because
And
I
it's matching with our own frequency, right?
yes, and that's our soul path, what I call it. It's your individual blueprint. I call it your soul's journey, and they're going to be different for all of us. And we don't know when we live how that's going to unfold. I had so many difficult things that I needed to move through in my life, which is obviously connected to my past in some way, and I'm still doing them. So we're never done because we can always reach higher states of understanding. But mine were very, very challenging a lot of times. And what I would like yell at them and say, why am I suffering this way? And then I
Mm,
come to understand that it brought me something else later when I was willing to move through it.
yeah, right. Mm. Yeah, cool. Thank you. I understand what you just said there because um like the blockages, what I experience is that if I take time to sit with it,
Mm-hmm.
with a pain or like a thought that I don't like too much to think of, I I can actually go into it and kind of find out through the feeling and the sensation in my body um what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And right, if I really go into it and at the same time just release the pressure of it energetically because I put attention to it
Right.
and it's causing us to pay attention, right? So if we pay it attention, it's way better than to look away. And at times somehow I feel like it more turns back to me if I do so one day. So
Okay.
it's kind of like a cycle
Yes.
we have to break out of.
Yes.
And
You're talking about one of my processes called sit in it.
sit in it. Hmm.
Because what I said, there were certain times that we
With
will
your cluster headaches, this one helped.
um, later. I didn't get there yet because when I was having the headache, I couldn't sit in anything. That was my problem. I was running from myself the entire time.
Hmm.
However, there were just, I'm talking about other times where I would have this overwhelm of some sort of emotion, a reaction to something that I didn't understand, where it would cause me to feel sad or depressed or so, and I didn't know where it was coming from. Why am I feeling this way? And this one specific thing, I was having a reaction to an event that had nothing to do with me. It was somebody other
Hmm.
person was doing something, but it triggered something within me that I didn't understand. So I went to my living room and I said, "Okay, I can't figure this out. I'm going to sit in it." And I literally sat on my sofa and just closed my eyes. I didn't feel like I was meditating or anything. I said, I'm just going to sit here until this horrible, uncomfortable feeling leaves me. And the longer I sat, I said, awareness started to come to me. So it did turn into kind of a meditation because I said, oh, I'm reacting to some old childhood thing where I thought I wasn't wanted. That's
Hmm.
why. And I got triggered by this incident that I saw. And then and so, oh, okay, I'm going to stop that one at that moment. That's how it felt. And so then it wasn't an instant. I don't know how long it took, but then I felt so much different because I got the awareness of why I was reacting that way. And I said, this is not the way to be an empowered person. So I'm glad I got to see it.
Hmm. So what type of pain did you attracted through that situation when you made up that story as a child?
It that I wasn't wanted. That was
Yeah, and what has it done with you, like mentally, physically, emotionally? Like how has it affected you? What would you say?
it affected me by never allowing me to be confident, never allowing me to own who I was. And that started when I was much younger. And so to uncover that throughout my life, because we all have embedded limitations that
Mm-hmm.
were programmed somewhere when we were probably very young, or could be from some other life, whatever it was. But they're always programmed limitations that are within us. And so when we can look at them honestly, but a lot of people don't want to. That's why we stay stuck. We don't want to find out the reason that we're stuck, which doesn't make sense. But that's exactly what goes on. People, I can talk all the time and say, no, you can uncover this if you just ask yourself these questions, do this process, do whatever. And people say, no, I'm not going to do that because they've been so used to being in this stuck place that that feels more comfortable than going into the unknown, which can be scary.
Hmm. And stillness might be uncomfortable as well at times, right? We all know this. Like, I think many people actually, most of us, I'd say, we long for the human connection.
Hmm.
And we like to be with each other, to experience with each other, to grow with each other.
Hmm.
And, there's a very precious time
Hmm.
and that we have. And then being alone with your own thoughts
Hmm.
and, yeah, man, like you gotta sit with it.
That's exactly it. And
You
that's
gotta sit with it because
yes.
if you just listen to other people, um, you just have other people in your head.
Hmm.
And you actually listen to those people in your
Yes.
head. That means you're not even owning your own thoughts. You're housing the thoughts of someone else. Like this
Right.
is this is what happened with me. Like seriously, I'm not joking. And I worked diligently to let go of that in the last years, right? And it's very interesting.
And this is
Very.
why I know that everybody has, everything within them, but they have to be willing
Yeah.
to find it. And that's the part that can be uncomfortable.
And
And
this is why they can look at your work as an example and they can take from it
mhm,
what resonates with them.
mhm,
You don't
exactly.
tell them what to do,
Never.
you don't tell them how to do it. You don't put any regulations on them because like many programs you buy them and there's like, but
Hmm.
like how much is your uniqueness in the way that someone is teaching you? Or are you then actually listening or speaking like your teacher, or are you actually able to implement it for yourself, right? Observing it with your own thoughts, not thinking the thoughts of the person who told you something, right? Kind of producing your own thoughts and having your own opinion about what you experience. And then therefore you build and gain your own wisdom and understanding of things. And then you can grow as a human and as a person.
Exactly. I see so many people who, and I did this as well for a long, long time because we need confirmation. But I would see them, all they were doing, sitting and watching, listening to videos and listening to videos and doing that, which is wonderful because it's doing a little bit. But I said, that's not really getting to the depth of it because we're not really working on you. You're just hearing something, which is why all of my work is getting the individual to delve into who they are, to ask
Hmm.
questions of who they are and find that's what's within them because we all have it. We just have blockages. That's all.
So they're empowered, right? Like
Yes.
in those blockages, like they just come up in order for us to grow. And it's the only reason. Like they just tell us where energy isn't flowing. If you have leg pain, or as an example, bring your focus in it and learn to move the energy in your body. If you have stomach pain, if you have a headache, whatever it is, like you can go in it. You can learn central channel breathing, right? And you can literally heal yourself, and your body is designed to do that too. Like
Exactly.
you are designed to heal yourself, right?
Yes.
And you're a healer, and you're like a magical being that has access to those healing powers.
Um,
So own it.
okay, I'm going to admit something. So I want people to understand this because I was listening to a Wilhelm channeling session from a year ago, and it talked about how because we withhold, all of us, we do. And so they were talking about how I have healed so many things, but I wasn't talking about it. I have done so much of that, but I wouldn't talk about it to others. And I know that that came up because some of the things that I went through were really challenging and difficult. I didn't want to necessarily relive it, but also I know that it is more of a responsibility we all have is to give others something that we've accomplished. But it's the shame and embarrassment that keeps holding us back from actually offering more to others because of what we've lived.
We're holding a small.
Yeah,
because we've been told that being confident and loving yourself is a bad thing to do, and being
exactly.
honest with your opinion. So we got shut down very early, and to have that, excuse me, to have that back is empowering, and you're meant to be empowered, and you're meant to walk through life effortless because you're kind of carried by that energy that you are made of.
Yes.
And when you're carried by the energy that you are made of, you're not thinking about something that you are not.
Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
that. I'm not hungry. I'm not enjoying this. I'm not, yeah, but what do you do rather than focusing on what you're not do? Like, what do you do?
There's a,
Right? There's the shift.
there's a wonderful message that people can find on the on anyadvicefortoday.com, and it says you will complain or change. And when they read that, they will understand because that is what we will do. And Wilhelm said that we formed a habit of complaining about wherever we are, whatever we're experiencing, instead of putting that energy and time into say, what's the solution? How can I move
Mhm.
out of it? That's a very different energy too.
It's a very different energy. If you approach life, I thought about this, was it earlier today or yesterday? Naya, I was actually thinking about it. How, can you repeat what you've said? I just lost the stream of thought.
It's we will complain about certain things, but then instead of looking for the thing that could change the condition that we're complaining about,
Ah,
basically.
yeah, the solution part, right?
Right.
Like, I, like everyone who has a problem should come to me because like I'm just super, you're the same,
Mhm.
right? You're just on the solution. You're always giving perspective and opportunity and wisdom, right? That people can learn from. And this is what actually is supposed, I believe, is supposed to leave our mouth, which is God's work,
Mhm.
right? That we are all channeling, that we all have access to, that we are all part of, but that we have to commit to as well.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Great. Well, we talked about attraction, so people will get a
We
lot
talked
out of
about
it.
attraction, so if you want to attract that part of yourself, like you better go and check out that course.
Right. And check
Like
out the channeling sessions and the live ones and all of that are on the website. So I'll leave the link.
there's so much content and for free, even like the conversations, the channelings, and yeah,
It's,
check it out.
I just have to say this. It's so surprising to me that, and other people, members have said they go back and listen to the sessions and it helps them so much. I do that
Hmm.
as well because I don't remember them as they're happening. And also, I'm usually receiving information that hasn't shown up yet. And then I'll go back and go, oh, now that makes sense.
Hmm.
That's what we all do.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't usually watch what I have created again.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
rarely don't. I create and I move on.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. And for me, I have to because I don't remember it when it's happening. And I want to be able to interpret the information to give it to others, which is that's all I do is really
yeah,
interpret what I'm receiving. So,
yeah.
oh, great.
Philosophy, right? Like
Mm,
interpreting things. Like it's what
exactly.
philosophers are about. It's all interpretation of the same thing, just from a different perspective. All right, sir.
Good.
That
Thank you,
was
sir.
great.
Great. Thank you.
See you soon.